Welcome to this week's episode of LDN ONT TV here on Rogers TV. I am your host, Bronagh Morgan, and it is my pleasure to introduce our original host, the person who came up with the concept for LDN ONT TV. He is also well known to the London community as a politician, a entrepreneur, a really inspired community volunteer and community contributor. And he's here today to talk a little bit about an awesome endeavor that he founded again that has now gone Canada-wide, Snow Angels. Welcome to the show, Lincoln McCardle.
Thank you so much for having me. You kind of pumped me up so much. I'm not sure my head's going to fit in the screen anymore, but that was great. I'm glad to be here.
Thank goodness we're not in the studio, right? Because then we would have to worry about
That's right. My head's swelling out of control, taking up the whole place.
Well, it's great to have you here on the show, and it's different format that we have right now, and unfortunately we can't be in the studio together, but I know that you're somebody who really takes bringing the communities together really seriously in so many different initiatives that you get involved with. So maybe talk to me a little bit about why it's so important for people to be involved in our community, and why what inspires you to kind of get behind so many initiatives in the community.
I think for me, and this is probably a pretty bad answer, but quite often I'll see a need and I'll say, you know what, we should really have something like that. And almost immediately, my first step is, who else can I convince to do this, that I don't have to take it on myself? Once I've gone down that route and I've realized that probably no one else is going to do it, then I try and take a little time and evaluate, is this something and that crazy idea that I've had that I can just let nothing happen with, or do I have to follow it up? Unfortunately, it seems like I always find myself saying, you know what, someone should really do this, and if no one else is going to, I'm going to do it. I am lucky because I've worked in the same job for almost 30 years now. It's the type of job where I work 9 to 5. I don't think about my job or talk about my job, so I'm always kind of looking for, I don't know, interesting projects outside of work hours as well. I think, I'm trying to instill, I think my parents instilled with me this idea that, you should really try and give back and be part of the community. I'm trying to instill it in my sons now. So if I have time and energy to do things, why not do something that hopefully brings the community together or somehow makes it a little better? And obviously some of those ideas take off more than others.
So in terms of, maybe your favorite concept, I'm sure
Yeah.
Snow Angels is one of them. Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about, the idea behind Snow Angels, why you thought this was so important, and, how it's going?
Yeah, sure. So Snow Angels actually started, I live in Woodfield, pretty close to City Hall downtown. And just because of the way the real estate is laid out here, I actually kind of have a shared laneway with my neighbor, in which, I mean, we each have our own laneway in front of our house, but they're connected. So quite often when I would shovel my laneway, I would just, go and do hers as well. She was probably, I don't want to guess her age in case she watches this and I'm way off, but she was older than me. Let's just put it that way. And so one day, as out there shoveling, I had finished mine and was working on hers, and the door opened. I thought, oh, she's going to come out and say, oh, Lincoln, thanks a lot or something. But she didn't. She started yelling at me. She's like, Lincoln, you have to stop shoveling my laneway. I pay someone to do this. So they come to do it and you've already done it. Like, what am I paying this money for? I said, okay, no problem. And I kind of stood there with my shovel and I looked up and down the street and I thought, I bet I could throw a snowball and hit 10 houses that would love to have me shovel. But how do I find them? Like, there's no way for me to figure out who these people are, because as sad as it sounds, we just don't connect as much with our neighbors as much as at least we seem to when I grew up. Like, everyone seemed to know everyone on the street and stuff. So as soon as I finished shoveling, I came in the house and I actually opened a Facebook account and a Twitter account called Snow Angels London. And really, it was just, I would send out like a post saying, check on your friends, check on your neighbors. Do you need someone who might need help snow shoveling? And, other neighborhoods I would share the post. Like, let's say, for example, Old South would share it and say, hey, does anyone know of anyone who needs help? We're going out on Saturday. Or it would happen in Woodfield, other places around town. As a result, I think it was only there for maybe a month or so before a local company called Similam approached me and said, we love what you're doing with this idea of snow angels. Is there any way we could build a website for you? I thought, but if it would work, that would be great. And so the idea was is that you could log in as a volunteer or as someone who needs help. And by using Google Maps, it would actually show you a map of people near you who either were willing to volunteer or help. And you could send that person a message. So I think one of the misnomers about Snow Angels Canada now, at the time London, we don't actually have any volunteers. All it is just a platform to connect the two parties together. So we did that for about 5 years. And I mean, really over time, Stratford, Barrie, a number of other towns and cities approached us saying, could we have a website like yours? And Similam was kind enough to say, well, we built the website. We'll give it away for free to anyone who wants it. But it's going to need someone who knows what they're doing to make changes, to change it from, let's say at the time, Snow Angels London to Snow Angels Stratford, stuff like that. So a whole bunch of places accepted the website, but they really never got around to launching it or anything. And almost a year ago today, Barrie came to us and said, why don't you guys just change it so it involves all of Canada? Like, the last thing we need is 100 different websites out there. And what if you want to volunteer in London, but you want to register your friend or family member in Barrie for help? It would just make sense that way. So we decided to do it. So as I said, almost a year ago, we changed it from Snow Angels London to Snow Angels Canada. Last winter was pretty busy. This winter is incredibly busy because now Barrie's officially launched at Collingwood. Once Barrie did, and it got a lot of press there, then almost every town and city around it really got on board too and started promoting the service. But we have groups in BC, we have groups in Nova Scotia. So, I mean, you are starting to see it organically kind of spread across the country, which is exciting. It makes a lot of work for me, but knowing that other people are getting the help they need, it's great. It's worked
And
out well.
yeah, we haven't had a ton of work for somebody who is on the I love shoveling side of Snow Angels, but
It's
I'm
so
hoping
true.
to
And
find some more, some more people to go and help. My
I,
shovel is ready.
yeah,
My extra volunteers, the people who do the small areas are ready. Talk
exactly.
to me about some of the feedback that you've received from people that either, like me, are involved because we
Yeah,
love to shovel, or people
yeah.
who need the help.
The two people I hear from the most often, honestly, is obviously the seniors who are, and I shouldn't say seniors because it's not just seniors who are asking for help. There's a variety of reasons, but I would say for the most part, it's older people who are no longer able to do it themselves, are looking for the help, who are incredibly grateful. Just happy because some of these people wouldn't be able to leave the house if someone didn't shovel their walk and their laneway for them. It's just not possible for them to do it. Because the service works where I'm not involved, like once they meet each other, it's not as common as you might think to get feedback. Sometimes people will send in an email or tag us on social media and stuff like that. But I mean, that's obviously the most heartwarming part of it. The other side, of course, is the grade 12 students who need 100 volunteer hours by the end of the year, who haven't done anything in their first 3 years of high school, who are like, when is it going to snow? I really need to get these hours in and stuff like that. So as much as, of course, it's really helping people out who need a way to get outside and get shoveled, it's also really helping out a lot of young people where volunteer opportunities are increasingly rare. So, there's an event that might need 3 volunteers and 100 people will apply for it. It's, this is a way people can do it on their own time. So it really works out, I think, or I hope both parties benefit as a result of the service.
And in particular, this type of volunteering is, it's kind of safe for the COVID era because it's outside, socially
Yeah.
distanced. How do people get involved with Snow Angels then, if you either need
Yeah.
some help or if you want to provide some,
It's,
some muscle
that's right.
behind Snow Angels?
Easiest thing in the world is if you just go to www.snowangelscanada.ca, you register, it'll ask for your postal code and your email address. If you want to volunteer, you're done. As soon as you log in, it's just going to show you snowflakes around you, and you can click on them to reach out to someone to say, hey, I'm willing to help you. If you are someone who's needing help, you do have to take an extra step, which is to add a posting. And again, it's just asking for the first 3 digits of your postal code so we can kind of give your general idea on a map and a general idea of what needs to be shoveled. Based on those 2 things, then hopefully the 2 parties will be able to find themselves and make a happy connection. I mean, really, we're all just about getting snow shoveled. If we happen to create some friendships and connection community along the way, that's just kind of an added benefit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of my regulars from last year when we have a little bit more snow to shovel. And,
Yeah,
it is getting into that time of year, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. I'm a snow lover, so hopefully
I
our viewers are looking forward to it as much as I am.
I hopefully some of them are. I'm not among you guys, but I get it, and it's nice to have it over the holidays, especially.
Really appreciate you telling us a little bit more about Snow Angels. And I wish we had more time to hear about more of your community initiatives, but I guess we'll have to invite you back and maybe we'll get some feedback on how I'm doing in the host seat these days. Lincoln McCardle,
Thank you so
original
much.
host of LDN ONT TV. We have to take a break and we'll be right back with more inspiring stories from Londoners just like you. Stay tuned. Welcome back to LDN ONT TV. I'm your host, Bronagh, and now I'm joined by another wonderful community member from here in the Southwestern Ontario area who is going to inspire you over the next few weeks with another fantastic event she and her family have founded that you can get involved with going forward. Welcome to the show, Trina Heathers.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Bronagh.
Okay, Trina, I've been involved with this event for the last couple of years, and this is another one of the things that I love. This one involves getting messy. Talk to me about the inspiration behind Spaghetti for Gavin and how you've been able to help so many people in such a wonderful way based on the inspiration of a very special little guy.
So Spaghetti for Gavin started in honor of our son. So I actually have him on my t-shirt here. This is our little man, Gavin. We unfortunately lost him at 15 months of age. He was born on December 23rd. So he's our little Christmas baby. Our first Christmas with him was coming home from the hospital. So Gavin was a total spaghetti monster. I think we had spaghetti probably 3 times a week in our house, and he would moan and groan and just make a mess of himself. And it was the cutest thing in the world. So our first birthday celebrating Gavin without him present in our home, we invited all of our family and friends and their children to come into our house and have a giant spaghetti party and make a mess. People that weren't able to attend took part at home, and they shared pictures with hashtag Spaghetti for Gavin. And then COVID struck. And so the following year, we weren't able to do what we wanted. The previous year we made a bunch of meals. My husband and I had donated to the Unity Project in London, and just a way of giving back in honor of the love that we have for this special little boy. And just, yeah, we wanted to turn something tragic into something good, especially that time of year. It's just such a hard time of year for a lot of people. So yeah, after the next 2 years with COVID, we haven't been able to have the big gathering that we wanted. So we have started the Spaghetti for Gavin fundraiser, which is people can donate either money to a fund, which we've split between the food bank in London and O-Share, which is a community kitchen in Owen Sound, which is my hometown. I have a lot of family and friends that are still there. So we raise money every year. And then we also ask family and friends and coworkers to drop off spaghetti, noodles, and pasta to our home or our workplaces, and we donate that. So we've had over the last year and this year, we're almost over $3,000 combined for both places, which is incredible. And last year we had an SUV full of food. I think it was about 400 pounds was what we had measured, which was donated. So we're trying to beat that goal this year. And currently we are on track to raise more money. The food's not as abundant this year, but that's okay. It goes a long way, anything, right? Any donations.
Well, I haven't got mine to you yet, so just get ready because I like shopping.
There's a lot. Okay. That's the thing. I think we're on track, but we have so many close family members that kind of come in at the end. And I haven't been to work yet, but I work at University Hospital, and our critical care group there has been incredible with their donations in the past. So hopefully we have a giant mountain of sauce and noodles waiting for me.
Now, one of my favorite parts of Spaghetti for Gavin is the actual, I love the donating. I love the spirit behind it. He's an adorable little boy. I love supporting the food bank and the initiatives that, you're getting behind as well. But when we have Spaghetti for Gavin in my house, what it involves is a lot of spaghetti, sometimes meatballs, lots of sauce, but no utensils. How do you do it at your house?
So we have in the past, we've kind of said that to people that no utensils. We have used utensils. Last year, I had my 3-year-old niece was feeding me her noodles. So we were covered in sauce and it was pretty adorable. I think one of my favorite parts, I know my husband's as well, is just seeing the photos. Like you laugh and it's like how far it spreads too, right? London, Owen Sound, like Edmonton, Calgary. It's family and friends and complete strangers now that are taking place and just making a mess. And I think people know how much we're dog lovers. We've sadly lost one of our dogs recently, so we just have one pup left, but they even feed their dogs spaghetti. We get all these pictures of their animals taking place in it. It's amazing.
Is there special dog spaghetti? I don't have a dog. I have a hamster. There's not going to be any spaghetti going to the hamster. I just wondered.
That's too bad. No dog spaghetti, I know, but I'm sure our Stella, this will be her first Spaghetti for Gavin this year. So I'm sure she'll be taking place in a lot of noodle eating this year.
Now it's really inspiring, just like Lincoln's story that we were just talking to, how something like this that you just conceive as, a family event, it kind of grows exponentially. And now it's actually taking place in cities across the country. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, I know it must be really special knowing that people are talking about Gavin and doing things in his honor all across the country now.
It's completely overwhelming, to be honest. Like how much you love your child, right? And they're taken from you. Like it is just a hard reality to live with, but his love shines across all of us still. And he is very much present, and especially on his birthday, especially at Christmas time, which is just, seems impossible to get through a lot of times, right? But yeah, it's just a magical thing to be able to keep his memory alive and share his love for his favorite food and enjoy him and laugh and not just for us, but for every single person that we know, basically. Like, it's just incredible.
It's such I think, a joy, because this is an experience that you and I both share, as losing a child when they're very young, to know that when people think about them, even people that never got a chance to meet these amazing people, that they are thinking of them in a happy way and thinking of them in a way that is, contributing to society, even though they never got a chance to, even grow into childhood or adulthood. It's it's such an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Trina, can you talk to me about how people can get involved with Spaghetti for Gavin?
Yeah, so we have a public group on Facebook called Spaghetti for Gavin. And you can go on there and there is a donation set up on there. You can just click on the link and donate. We are also asking people to just make a donation of spaghetti noodles and sauce to their local food bank if they aren't able to donate. And then on December 23rd, we want you to take place in our spaghetti dinner feast. Take pictures, make a mess, enjoy each other, and then share your pictures with us at #Spaghetti for Gavin on any social media platform. It's like the best thing in the world that day, going on and just seeing like families across the world, like across Canada, just eating their spaghetti and having fun. And it's just for the love of a little boy.
Fantastic. Now, in non-COVID times, do you imagine what Spaghetti for Gavin might be like in 2022?
We've talked about hosting our own dinner at like a local community center or something like that. And we want to make it bigger and bigger every year. But yeah, COVID's it's changed it for sure. And I think, but it's also reached people in a different way. So I'm grateful for that as well. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling us more about Spaghetti for Gavin. This wonderful little boy. Love the picture on the shirt. So thanks for sharing that, Trina and Gavin. Viewers, get involved. It's just, it's a wonderful time. And if you're not as much of a lover of being messy as me, you can use your utensils to have your spaghetti on December 23rd for Gavin. Thanks, Trina Heathers, for being with us. We're going to have to take another break, but please stay tuned for a little bit more of LDN ONT TV. Welcome back to LDN ONT TV. I'm Bronagh, and now I'm here with my friend Avery. So Avery was one of my guests last year at Spaghetti for Gavin. Do you remember Spaghetti for Gavin from last year? Did you have fun?
Yeah.
So
we got really messy.
Yes, your favorite part was the not utensils, right?
Yeah, that was really, really fun.
Yeah, I have a good time eating with my hands as well. Less washing up for me. Now, I know you're a great helper in your house, and we've been talking to some other people today about how they help in the community. You are 10, and I know that you help a lot at home to, you cook, you bake, you do all kinds of things to support your parents and your family. And I guess in a way, that's really supporting the whole community. Talk to me about some of the ways that kids your age can help.
Well, we can go around in the neighborhood and we can actually help. So me and my brother every year when there is a lot of snow on people's driveways, we go into different neighborhoods and we take some shovels and actually help shovel the driveway. And we don't even ask for them, but they just give us either candy or like a few bucks just to help out.
That's really nice of you, because we were talking earlier to my friend Lincoln, who is the person that founded Snow Angels, which is that organization that I like to volunteer for because I like to shovel as well. What other things can kids your age do, even in their own homes? I know you love to help with cooking, right?
Yeah, so me and my family do a lot of baking, and mainly in the Christmas season, we actually bake a lot of Christmas cookies and hand them out to our neighborhood.
Yeah, and I've benefited personally from some of these cookies in the past, so can vouch these are good cookies. And I know now your parents have just started up a food truck. Are you helping out with that?
Oh yes, we just made like $1,000 last week.
Oh my goodness.
Just for like 3 days, we made like almost $1,000.
And how do you help?
Well, my dad actually lets me cook once in a while, but I have to have my hair in a ponytail just so I don't get it in the food. And I actually get to help take orders. I know it's not really a huge job, but I also get to help clean the dishes.
That is a huge job because you can't really have a great meal or a great food experience without somebody to wash the dishes. Everybody has their role to play, right?
Yeah, but it's not glass plates that I have to clean. Like we give them like actual food boxes if they want to take it home and stuff.
Gotcha.
And like canned drinks or water bottles, which you can also dispose in the garbage pail. Or in the recycling.
Important, exactly.
Very important.
So you do a lot of stuff, not just in your neighborhood, in your home. Maybe kids who are watching the show today, over the holidays, what kind of things do you think would be a great way to spend your time when you can get outside? Do you have any other great ideas for kids who want to help out in their community?
I don't really know any ideas at the moment.
How about playing with somebody that you've never met before?
Oh, well, we actually have a pretty big school. And when we go outside, if we see people sitting on the ground without anyone to play with, we actually offer them to play with our little friend group. And if there's like a bunch of snow on the field or something, we make snow angels or snowmen. And when teachers aren't looking, we give each other permission to throw like a tiny bit of snow at each other, so it's not a lot on the sides. But I actually got in trouble once. Please, teacher behind me, but please stop.
But please, all we need now is the snow to go along with it. so we can get together, have fun together. We hope that you have enjoyed our show, which is a little bit of a holiday theme, a little bit of a winter theme, but a lot about getting involved with your community, building friendships, and just making people maybe feel a little less alone and a part of the community as well. Thanks for joining us. My friend Avery, thank you to Lincoln, thank you to Trina, and thank you to you. We'll see you in the new year. Cookie?